904. You can hire a bicycle by the hour at this shop. 905. Since the last war, coffee has been getting more popular with the English. 906. After 4 years in Greece, Tara longed for the familiar sights of Kyoto. 907. We shall go on studying this book till the end of the year. 908. If we take an express, we'll get home by 7 o'clock. 909. That bus will get her to Osaka in 5 hours. 910. Your mail is due to arrive here within a week. 911. There will be one 10-minute interval during the performance. 912. The heavy rainfall has caused vegetable prices to rise daily for the last 2 months. 913. This store stays open all through the night. 914. I went back to my hometown for the first time in 10 years. 915. On a cold night in February, I had an unexpected visit from him. 916. Toward noon, the fog began to disappear, and the sun broke through. 917. The sun rises in the east. 918. He was born in small town on the Thames. 919. It takes only a few hours to fly across the Atlantic. 920. Life changes constantly. Change will always be with us. 921. Mr. Miller walked through the forest. 922. My brother's an authority on philosophy. 923. The Prime Minister made a short speech in America through an interpreter. 924. We danced to the music of that famous band for hours. 925. This chimney is made of brick. 926. Water turns into ice at 30 degrees Fahrenheit. 927. Among all the magazines on the shelf, there was one that was very interesting. 928. The proposal was dropped because 7 people out of 10 voted against it. 929. It is more difficult to swim against the stream than to swim with it. 930. This city is 300 feet above sea level. 931. To our surprise, she has gone to Brazil alone. 932. That girl in white is a nurse. 933. Do you have nay money with you? 934. Tonight the stars are shining out brilliantly against a black sky. 935. He bought a new camera for 20,000 yen. 936. What are you moving the furniture for? 937. These kinds of books are of little value. 938. This problem is too difficult. It's beyond me. 939. Between you and me, John's idea doesn't appeal to me very much. 940. The population in this city rose by 15,000 last year to 2.5 million. 941. The president and the secretary talked over a cup of coffee. 942. A language may extend beyond national and cultural boundaries. 943. The world population is increasing at a surprising rate. 944. These 2 streets separate like the branches of a Y. 945. Tom is very tall, unlike his brothers and sisters. 946. I'm not worried about anything except the money. 947. I have read all but the last page. 948. 3 of my friends, besides me, were admitted to the bar. 949. He stared me in the face. 950. She shook the child roughly by the arm. 951. Today's high temperature set a new record. It's extremely hot for this time of the year. 952. Despite his many hours of study, he did not make much progress in German. 953. I don't think the car is going in the right direction. 954. Though he is poor, he is above telling lies. 955. In addition to taking the regular tests, we have to hand in a long essay. 956. The thief ran away at the sight of a policeman. 957. I have never seen him smile in the presence of others. 958. He wanted to succeed even at the expense of his health. 959. Farmers are always at the mercy of the weather. 960. We express our thoughts by means of words. 961. In spite of the sunny weather, the air was rather chilly. 962. We had to drive very slowly on account of fog. 963. Lawyers argue on behalf of their clients. 964. I stayed home all day instead of going to work. 965. With respect to these letters, the best thing is to burn them. 966. Several members preferred the second resolution and spoken in favor of it. 967. She sat still for fear of waking the baby. 968. He succeeded in the face of many difficulties. 969. The plan was a good one apart from its cost. 970. He is in charge of the men's clothing department. 971. New evidence in support of the existence of an ancient village at the foot of Mount Asama has recently been published. 972. The fine statue of Hachiko, a faithful dog, stands in the middle of busy square in front of Shibuya Station. 973. Some writers have used the term civilization in contrast with term culture. 974. With all his good education, Taro knew little about Japan, because he had left Japan when he was very young. 975. She was unhappy for all her wealth. 976. We should admit that there are still many things whose worth cannot be expressed in terms of money. 977. Car manufacturing is carried out by computer-programmed robots in place of human workers. 978. She was able to go to college thanks to the scholarship. 979. His ideas were far in advance of the age in which he lived. 980. This company does not discriminate but employs people regardless of their sex or race. 981. A Red Letter Day was originally a holy day on which a church festival took place in honor of a saint. 982. Mark gave her a gold brooch in token of his love and esteem. 983. Their salaries are set in proportion to their sales. 984. She studied hard with a view to becoming a teacher of Japanese. 985. In case of fire, break this window and go down the emergency staircase. 986. According to the newspapers, he will be here today. 987. I have done the best I could to help. The rest is up to you. 988. The landlady asked Kitty to leave her apartment immediately, and she was quite at a loss as to where she would move. 989. I'm going to sketch in a bit of the background by way of introduction. E164. Everybody in this class has to hand in an essay by the end of this week. E165. The reporter said that the typhoon would arrive in the next few hours. E166. There were no customers except a group of Japanese tourists in the department store at that time. They were looking for some good souvenirs. E167. Because of a bad stomachache, Lucy could neither sleep nor eat during her flight over to Singapore. E168. Telling a good joke well is the highest art. It is an art because it is up to you. If you do not get a laugh, you have told it poorly. E169. Have you any good ideas as to how we can make the best use of the money? E170. The girl stood with her back against the wall. E171. His explanations is far above me. E172. Will those in favor of the suggestion please signify their agreement by raising their hands? E173. There is sometimes a great difference between theory and practice. Theoretical knowledge is often of no use unless it can be applied in a practical way. E174. Maybe you should try again. I7 am afraid your last essay was not up to standard.